I wonder. I wonder if he markets himself like on TikTok. Five things that you should know from 103.9 The Fox, brought to you by Thick Landscape Supplies. As we spring into the new season, it's time to get that driveway in shape with tons of driveway material, plus the finest topsoil, compost, and humus. Thick Landscape Supplies, 2 locations to serve you. Find out more at thicklandscapesupplies.com. Like us on Facebook. Now let's get thick and busy. Well, the prosecution rested its case yesterday in the hush money trial involving former President Trump. And after the defense began its side, the judge threatened to remove the defense witness from the trial because of his behavior on the stand. Judge Juan Merchan telling former federal prosecutor Robert Costello that his conduct during testimony was contemptuous. That exchange coming after the prosecution's star witness Michael Cohen admitted to stealing tens of thousands of dollars from Trump's company. We're learning that the victim in last week's deadly shooting in Buena Vista Township was 80-year-old former teacher John Strahan of Bay City. MLive reporting he was driving a van north on I-75 near M46 before 5 a.m. last Friday when somebody suddenly opened fire on him. That shooter still at large, and authorities believe Strahan was targeted, but they're not saying why. Family and friends of Paul Roll, remembering him and the popular business he established in the Burton community. Roll, known as Rocky, opening Rocky's Great Outdoors back in 1972. Paul Roll died on May 12th at the age of 83. Tigers lost to the Kansas City Royals 8-3 last night, while the Great Lakes Loons had the day off, preparing for a week-long series against the Beloit Snappers, which begins with a game this morning, 11:05 a.m. First pitch at Dow Diamond in Midland. And to cap this one off, this, of course, is Memorial Cup week in and around Saginaw. Puck to drop in Canadian Major Junior Hockey's biggest tournament this Friday at the Dow Event Center. It runs through June 2nd. And during that time, public transportation in town is going to reportedly be operating fare-free and with extended service. That's 5 things you should know from 103.9 The Fox. Forecast calling for a cloudy day that eventually turns sunny this afternoon. The chance of showers and thunderstorms happening later in the day to develop and carry on into the nighttime hours. We're expected to top out around 85 today and then slide down to about 69 overnight with that rain possibility. Tomorrow starts off with a chance that we'll see more rain showers during the morning commute, and then again the sunshine gradually takes over. 82 the forecast high. Thursday, plenty of sun, a little cooler, 78. Right now it is 64 in Flint, and in Saginaw 63.
Did anybody get hail yesterday? Because I know they were talking about the possibility of it. And there were some pretty severe cloud bursts going on around the area, but they were all very brief. Did anybody get hail?
I didn't.
Did you get any wind damage or anything, Hal, at your house?
No, it just came down in buckets for about 10 minutes or so, and the wind did pick up a little bit, but it was brief.
Yeah, we had a lot of limbs down, but nothing, no hail that I saw.
We had Davison had hail on Sunday.
Yeah.
With that little system that moved through pretty quickly.
That's the second time Davison's had hail like that.
Yeah, I know, right?
Did you have any dents in your car?
No, well, the car was in the garage.
Okay.
And it honestly didn't last that long.
Well, apparently this weather has the potential here over the next 24 hours as well.
Well, it's that time of the year, too.
Yeah, just be aware. It's 7:01.
From the Hurley Medical Center studio, this is the Foxhole Morning Show. Tony Morris Owasso.
Flint's Classic Rock Authority.
103.9.
103.9.
The Fox.
Coming up this hour,
This hour,
a chance to get registered to win the Fox freezer full of meat from 103.9 The Fox.
Well, good morning, TikTok. It is TikTok Tuesday. Here in the Hal Hole on 103.9 The Fox, Flint, Michigan, USA, home of the formerly crappy water. But we're here now to spend time not only doing news and traffic, as you'll hear, if you stick with us more than 5 seconds, but also to spend about the next hour or so chatting with you, as we do every Tuesday as part of our live stream that rotates all around the live stream universe. Yesterday it was Facebook, today TikTok. Tomorrow we're going to sashay on over to X Twitter. Thursday we'll be on Instagram. Friday simul streaming on Twitch and on Facebook. And then on Monday next week, because it's Memorial Day here in the United States, the holiday, our first chance to take a day off and have a 3-day weekend. So we won't be with you then. But hey, every once in a while we got to get time off. Your local car dealer is here. Favorite part of the morning. Well, I'm glad to see you here. Thank you very much for being able to take an active part in your favorite part of the morning, because now you are part of your own favorite part of the morning. Chris is here. Morning, New Mexico. I think I see Hot Jim is also with us this morning. Tina, of course, here. Good morning, New Jersey. Tina's happening in New Jersey, and there's something else, too, which I want to tell you about. Dale's here. Good morning, Dale. Second, good morning, and from Navajo Nation, Arizona. And I think that means we've probably got several parts of Arizona covered this morning. Yeah, we do, because Phoenix is, well, as I backtrack here and see, Hot Jim says it's 67, was 67 at 4 a.m. Pacific time zone. Going to 97 today. I got to tell you that we're going to be warm, but not quite that warm. Sheila's here with the sunshine. We're going to have to work hard to get it, but we will get it. Thank you, Sheila, for the sunshine today. And all of those who are joining us today, like Southern Girl and Joseph and Ms. Bean and Greg Fox and all of those folks who joined us here, we're just catching up with. Here we go with Tuesday. It is the 21st of May with Johnny Burke and Steph Barber. We'll hear from them soon. Going to be 82 and sunny in New Jersey today. 82 and sunny in New Jersey today. We did have a dog rescue transpire in New Jersey, which I want to tell you about. And this is on the heels of what was yesterday, and I didn't get a chance to really talk about it because I didn't really find out until after the live stream was over yesterday on Facebook that it was National Dog Rescue Day, Rescue Dog Day. And of course, Jacko, the one I have, is a rescue, so we honored him. Just another chance to post him all over social media. I always welcome those. It's like Magic Mirror. Cats of the World Unite Tran. It's like Magic Mirror. What's Magic Mirror? Cats. And where are you looking in from? I always want to see. We're going to give you your smile source in just a second here from the 365 Dogs calendar, because I believe that anybody who looks at a dog automatically breaks into a smile. We're going to get to that in a second here. But before that, we're going to hear from Johnny and Steph in the studio, which is, by the way, to my south. I'm in my home studio. They are in the actual studio in Flint, right across the street from the Genesee Valley Mall. Mel is here. Good evening, Australia. This close to the end of Tuesday there. Ted B is here. Good morning to Ted, who is watching this one-handed. Yeah, okay. Let's give you the opportunity now, one ear, to hear Johnny and Steph on the air. Here. Colorado, you're in Colorado. I got something that's going on in Colorado I'm going to tell you about in a second here, too. Old-fashioned kids show. Used to say people's names. Well, you know what? I want to make sure that if you're here, we want to make people acknowledge, because what happens is, when I put this replay over on my YouTube channel, which I will, I try to make sure that I read as many of these names as I can so that people can be acknowledged forevermore, as long as that replay's up.
How you doing? Hey, Matt, how you doing?
Good. Hey, I just want to let you know that hail in Davison was pretty substantial.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was,
Hello, Seattle. That's Zach Pando in Seattle.
I was a sitting duck, and then the hail started coming in. They started getting bigger and bigger, and the old carpet van got
Believe it or not, I got something going on in Washington, too. I've got you all covered today. We'll get to all these things.
I don't know, but this could be around.
Morning, Ralph. Good morning, Swamp Dog. And Scott Smithson. And Shannon.
Yeah, Davison got hammered. Been in at the house,
Navajo Nation's got 72 degrees, sunny, and you haven't even reached mid-May yet. Well, we're a little past mid-May, actually,
If you're out in Davison, get it checked out.
but not much. We are light out before 6 a.m., which happens starting at about mid-May here in Michigan. Usually pre-6 a.m. daylight is now a regular thing.
Smith Carpets. Thanks for calling.
Talk to you soon.
Yeah, Davison seems to be a target now all of a sudden, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, in yesterday's weather, we got just the edge of it.
Right.
But I'm very famously not too far out of Burton, so maybe that's why I didn't get the hail that Davison got.
So, yeah, they were mad at Davison, but not at Burton.
Could be.
Mother
I
Nature
don't-
hangs out with a bunch of Burton people.
I don't know.
Smoke cigarettes in the back alleys and that. Anyway, it is 7:08 here now, live in the Fox One. We will give you a chance this hour to sign up to win the Fox Freezer Full of Meat, which is from our friends at Donlands Fish. I was out with Mike Donlan to dinner last night.
That's what you mentioned.
Donlands Fish and Seafood, Johnson Farms, J. Dean Sausage and Jerky Company, Brower Farms are all in on this, and they packed all that in the brand new freezer we're going to give the winner from Appliances for Less on Corona Road. You get 3 chances every day to sign up to win this. First one always comes during the morning show, and today that's going to be this hour. on the Foxhole Morning Show. Stick around for that, which gives you 2 chances to win this hour because Steph has her Fox flashback coming up too. Another opportunity to win and choose your prizes. What do we got for grabs? Up for grabs today, I should say.
We have.
Well, good morning, Georgia. Renee is here. Good morning, Renee. Who's Phil? Phil Genovitz, Georgia.
And then we have.
What's the weather in Georgia right now?
We got tickets for soccer, don't we?
We do. We have 4 tickets to the Flint City Bucks game on Saturday, May 25th. And then we have another 4-pack of tickets to see the Flint City Bucks on June 5th.
All right.
And then we've got jesters.
We do that, right. So sometimes these dated things, but everybody has all their plans already in place. They can't use them, so we offer you as well. And some people just like, hey, I want to eat at Jester's anyway, so I want to go to Jester's.
Renee says it's 62. Where are you, Renee?
Whatever we don't give away in soccer tickets or something like
Virtual
that.
day for the kiddos. Oh, one of those.
Another contest, I should say. Artists.
How are they adapting to the virtual school?
Falling down the stairs, you have to guess who the classic rock artist is falling down the stairs, and to win that prize.
Yesterday, it was so much fun.
Ah, yeah, South Georgia. Okay, so Georgia's covered in a couple of spots here. Great.
To get signed up for the Fox Freezer Full of Meat is this hour on the Foxhole Morning Show, and Steph,
One day a year.
So you've got to stay here this hour, basically. What I'm
Why
telling
would
is
you even
can't
want
do
to
it
leave?
Well, work.
That's all that they do? So is it pre-designated day, or is it just on an emergency basis where you go virtual?
Copper mine.
Obviously, if it's 1 day a year, there must be some type of a pre-scheduled arrangement with that.
It is a copper mine, and there's a new highlight.
Oh, what do you got? Well, Iowa's got golf ball size hail. Right now?
I have no idea where that is. Painesdale Mine and Shaft workers recently discovered well-preserved handwriting on a wall.
Gives the teachers a day to clean out for the summer. That's kind of a nice idea. The fact that that's an option, although I don't know how much is getting done, because that's one of the things we're finding out about the COVID days is that as best they tried to do that virtual thing, it really hurt the kids.
Owned and enjoyed. She had a copper mine, kind of like one of those adjuncts or.
Okay, we got rain going on in Navajo Nation there.
An offshoot from the main
Oh, okay.
mine.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
Whatever that's called.
Yeah. But she had.
The Cottonwoods can fight you for what they're putting you through, Zach.
What do you, how do you know there's not still silver in there?
You have lost 2 windows since because of the hail. It's that big, and that's that intense. That's crazy.
Expense of going in to try to get it.
All right.
Because it's a little harder to find now.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause it was all over Nevada. I lived in Las Vegas, and that's another big thing out there.
Sure.
They have all these empty mines. I mean, they're everywhere you look.
Yeah, you've got to be very careful up in the UP.
Yeah.
Because there are those open shafts that have been grown over and.
People just fall in over.
Yeah.
Well, we went on a tour one, and they actually had like a railroad system in it.
Alpharetta, Georgia's got 65 and the sun almost up.
Very narrow and very cramped.
You're on Eastern Time Zone, right?
Like, your
Phil?
body,
Yeah.
It was filled the whole cavern, basically,
Yeah.
almost.
And it's so dark down there.
Really, incredibly dark.
Yeah. The Quincy mine up in Houghton is a great one to check out, and they actually take you down into the mine.
Oh, really?
And then there's another one. Right
Oh, Jacko's a blast. Every day it's a new adventure with him.
And you can also tour that.
So if you guys are going north for Memorial Day weekend, there might be a couple of things to check out there. 712.
103.9 The Fox.
Power's been out a couple hours.
I gotta tell you, I love this
Huh. Yeah, we had a situation yesterday. It was a very brief but a very intense front rolling through here that knocked power out to a bunch of places. Fortunately not here, but it did rain pretty intensely for 10-15 minutes. There wasn't hail, but it went from nice, bright, sunny, beautiful. Within a half an hour, it was just monsoon rain. Only short. Okay, before we get to the traffic, because that's coming up, and I want to tell you what's going on in these states that I was telling you. We got people coming in from Jersey and from Colorado, from Washington State, and I got you all covered as far as things that are happening. I want to make sure that you're up to date on those. But before that, every dog has his day. Lucy has her day. So we're going to give you an opportunity to see Pit Bull Terrier Lucy, who is living in Georgia, Savannah, Georgia. This is Lucy and her ball from the 365 Dogs calendar. There you are. Aww. You grew up in the Midwest, missed the storms. Does not happen in the PNW, Pacific Northwest. You know, people tend to think that it's usually pretty cold in the Midwest, or it's kind of yucky a lot of times. We don't have that kind of sexy kind of weather like you get in places like California or Florida or some of the other. But you know what? I would never give up the four seasons. I could never, ever live through a time, an extended amount of time, where we didn't have the four seasons at some point. I would even like winter if it weren't for the fact that the driving becomes so treacherous during that time of the year. But I do like that. I do like that from time to time.
Difference in our community. Whether you're starting a
Like
business,
Rocco. Yeah, like Rocco.
expanding your kitchen,
Rocco is Tina's
drop by and see us.
buddy,
Friendly service,
newly acquired in that household in
solid
Jersey,
financial advice. Horizon
where we're
Banking,
going to talk about in just a second.
ordinary banking.
Who's this? Navy vet. Hey, Navy vet. Good to see you. How are you?
Tired of living with chronic pain?
Yeah, we're here on Tuesdays on TikTok.
Carefully, because now there are new
San Diego, California remains best year-round weather for the entire country. I'm going to tell you what, Phil.
genetics. The nation's
I know people who
regenerative
live there.
medicine is now
Some of them have been
lasting relief.
fans of ours and viewers of ours, friends of ours here on this live stream for a long time. In fact, one in particular is a registered nurse over there in San Diego. Loves it there. She's from Michigan. And then I've also heard other people who come from there and say, it's 75 and sunny all the damn time. It's boring as hell, but it's comfortable as hell. 75 and sunny in San Diego all the time.
Incredible success. Their advanced
Pit Bull Terrier. Yes, that's Rocco. Yes. Kevro is preparing for severe storms today and tonight, talking about weather. It's coming to Wisconsin, and Kevro is battening down the hatches for that. Good luck with that. Hopefully you're going to make it through. What a curse. Yeah, Phil would love that 75 and sunny thing all the time. I don't know. Yeah, 75 and sunny is cool. I like that. 80, we talked about this on the air before the live stream started. Anything over 80 is a little bit kind of pushing it. 90's out of the question. One problem right now that we're looking at, it's going to be on 75, the northbound side at Dort Highway in Grand Blanc Township. It crashed just a couple of minutes ago, producing a potential slow-go spot there. That's northbound 75 at Dort Highway. And right now, it is the only problem point we can see. But if you're spotting others, we hope you let us know at 810-230-WRSR. That's 810-230-9777. And get your vehicle city traffic information 24/7 by checking out ClassicFox.com/traffic. Be a traffic tipster right here on 103.9 The Fox.
So, Hal, we make no secret here about our affinity to eating.
Yes.
Okay, we love to eat around here. But there's a survey out now that says 30% of Americans, we don't eat healthy here. And we tell you right off the bat, there's nothing healthy about our diet, and we're fine with that. And this is something I've always suspected. A new survey just came out. 30% of Americans admit to buying healthy foods just because they're trendy.
Yes!
They're doing it because
Yep.
they can tell their friends, yeah,
Yep.
about that kale over there.
Yep.
Yeah. Which finally explains why kale still exists, by the way. Yeah, I actually like kale. If it's
do?
properly, yeah, if you slice it, then there are different things you can do with it and put the right dressing on it. It's very good for you. You know, it's like spinach as far
Yeah.
as the rewards you get from eating it, so it's pretty good. So 2,000 adults looked at the country's food purchasing practice, found 65% rate their grocery shopping habits as somewhat healthy, which translates to people tossing the occasional tomato next to the boxes of ring dings and Twinkies just to make it look good. But
Yeah,
that's
or a
probably
few
what's going on.
oranges or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Traffic and service of Big Landscape Supplies. As we spring into the new season, it's time to get that driveway in shape with tons of driveway material, plus the finest topsoil, compost, and humus. Big Landscape Supplies has 2 locations to serve you. Find out more at BigLandscapeSupplies.com. Like them on Facebook. And now let's get big and busy on the Fox.
Yeah. Should be on the Colorado flag. We have no roaches except for those other types as cats of the world. You know what else is going on in California? They got some stupid thieves over there in your state. We had a woman who just got out of prison. She had been in for car theft. You may have heard about this because this is going on in Boulder. She goes, the first thing she does when she gets out of prison after being there for car theft, stealing a truck is what she's trying to do now. She gets out of prison. She goes to steal a truck in Boulder, Colorado. Can't do it. Doesn't know how to drive a stick shift. Could you do it? You guys, any of you, did you ever drive a stick shift? I learned. My first 2 vehicles I ever had were stick shifts. One was a 3-speed, one was a 4 on the floor. In fact, I got kind of bored with driving after I started with the first 2 cars I ever had in my life as a teenager in early 20s. Then after that, I started automatic transmission and it's been that ever since. But at least I know how to drive a stick if I ever wanted to steal a vehicle that had one, which I won't. But at least I'm smarter than this woman in Colorado. Kevro did. Used to. Okay at stick shift, not good though, because no one taught you. I had a cousin who taught me, and I grinded some gears in his car in doing that because he let me borrow his car to drive around a parking lot at a mall back in the days when I was learning how to drive. So he gave me, for that time, he was riding in it, but I got a chance to sit behind his Pontiac Le Mans with a 4 on the floor and learn how to drive the stick in that. And I did grind through the gears a couple of different times, but he was patient enough with me, and eventually I learned how to do it. Sheila loves stick shift. And Tina had a GTO. Ooh, no wonder. Lisa learned in a Mustang 5.0. Atta girl. Yes, sir. Good luck figuring out the clicky column gears. Just dumb. The clicky column gears. Yeah, that's right, Phil. And Dale is not going to drive. Kids are stolen here, even at the hospital and airport with cameras, Kat says. How many times I've heard this story over the years where somebody who wants to be a vehicle thief is thwarted, like particularly those who rob a bank. I've heard this more than once. You get a bank robber who jumps into what he thinks is going to be his getaway vehicle because he steals it, until he realizes it's a stick shift and he's never driven one. Game over before it even starts. Did I ever drive a column shift? I'm not sure I understand what a column shift is by comparison to the regular, standard 4 on the floor or 3 speeds that, the early 60s vehicles used to have. See, the first one I ever had was a 62 Corvair. We had the engine in the back. It was a fume mobile. We were still driving leaded gas at that time. And that thing I called my fume mobile. But it was a 3-speed on the floor stick. You have Kia boys there. Back to Johnny and Steph on the air, and then we resume this discussion. And I've got a couple of things to tell you about in places like Jersey and Washington State that are happening that are also weird crap.
Just sneak in there on her. Sneak up on her and scare her. My family does this to me constantly.
Yeah.
I am...
Good morning, Jen. Here comes Minnesota with us. Good morning, Jen.
Drives me nuts.
By the way, we're down to 3 days now, Jen, right?
Stairs or something, and they're going to be sorry.
Keeping track.
But they do that.
I just can't help but
Cool
wonder
show.
if
Thanks,
I
Cats.
apply this new
Thanks for being part of it.
Yeah, that's what's scaring me right now. I probably should
In fact, I got caught on camera yesterday morning slamming into another car at the 50-mile-an-hour downtown. Is that right?
Someone's plans to harvest apparently dozens of marijuana plants grown on the Wisconsin State Capitol grounds have gone up in smoke. Not literally, unfortunately. The plants sprouted in a tulip garden outside the Capitol. Apparently, somebody there probably had a handful of seeds and threw them in there.
Yeah. Do you think birds might have done it, though?
I suppose it's probably, yeah, but where are the birds getting them?
Oh, good point,
But the Associated Press said workers had removed the plants, but her agency could not determine if they were marijuana or hemp. Yeah, give them to me. I'll figure it out.
You know what? Do you have time? Do we have time for just a quick story?
Yeah.
So I grew up on a farm.
All right.
And my mom had a passion for plants and orchids in particular. So she saved her money, and we put up a big greenhouse on the front of the house.
Right.
And it was full of all sorts of plants, and then, of course, the orchids. Well, we had hay boys. We had crews that would help us bale hay during the summer.
Right.
A few boys, hay boys, neighborhood boys, got into her greenhouse and put pots of pot in and amongst the orchids.
Right.
And Mom didn't even know they were there. And it wasn't until she noticed these hay boys hanging around the greenhouse that she finally said, "What? The barn's over there. Why are you in the greenhouse?"
Right.
And somebody was holding a pot in bud, and the secret was out. But yeah, it was funny.
Well, if anybody in Wisconsin needs somebody to do some weeding, I'm your guy.
Weeding.
Yeah, you can do that over at the Wisconsin Capitol Tulip Garden. Apparently it's loaded with weed. 723.
For your commute, get the latest views.
Yeah, greenhouse was really a green garden. Hey, if you have an opportunity to do it, thank you very much for those of you who have started to follow us and or share us out to your friends. Tell your friends about the fact that we're here. I really appreciate that. We are here every Tuesday on TikTok, and we are other places every other day during the work week. Mondays it's Facebook, Tuesdays TikTok, tomorrow it's going to be X Twitter like on Wednesdays. Thursday it's Instagram, HalMoss_news is my page. If you follow me there, you'll know and be notified when we go live at about 7 a.m. Eastern. And then on Fridays we do a simul stream, which goes on Twitch and on Facebook at the same time. Cats can't stand the smell.
103.9 The Fox and Christensen Law give you the biker lowdown. If you've been in an accident, you need a lawyer that knows about life on the road.
Okay, I've just gotten a little. This is the first time I've gotten This is the first time I've gotten a little advisory that's on my screen from TikTok saying that some of my content here may not be advisable for younger listeners. So they've restricted me. You know, this has been going on for 9 freaking years. We started on Facebook. No, we didn't. We started before Facebook Live was a thing. We started on Periscope 9 years ago with this live stream. This has been around. Some of you are just now finding out. Most of you are just finding this out for the first time that we're here. We've been here for 9 years, but just most of the time somewhere else, not on TikTok. We started on Periscope, and before Periscope discontinued itself, we spent the last 3 weeks being NSFW'd because of our content. We could never figure out why. I, to this day, have not figured out why they did that. NSFW, not suitable for work. I don't understand why. Since we moved over to other platforms, we're on a radio show. Music gets played during our radio show. Sometimes you get a chance to hear more than 3 seconds of it. If that happens, then we get nailed by people like Meta that owns Facebook and Instagram because it's copyright infringement. And so our broadcast either gets shut down or our replays get struck from the record after those go up. It's a kind of a thing. Periscope, in fact, was a lot of fun. TikTok is doing that to the nicest people. Well, damn it, they're doing it to us too. We've never been accused of being the nicest people, but you know what? They're doing it to us too. But you know what? It just means we've arrived. We've been doing TikTok for a few months, about 6 months now. We've been here on TikTok every Tuesday, and we've never gotten cautioned for anything until just now. First time. Get me to 1,000 likes, y'all. Thank you, Phil, for the support, and I hope that happens. Please get us to 1,000 likes or something, whatever. City Boy Dan is from West Virginia. We call him American Dan. He's here. Good morning, Dan. Now, I said that there's other things going on besides this stupid car thief wannabe in Colorado. We've got other things going on. I want to tell you about Jersey. That was a heroic thing going on in Jersey. They're tough there, but sometimes they're compassionate, particularly when it comes to dogs. And we're very big dog supporters on this live stream. Very big dog supporters. Animals in general, but dogs particularly, because they are the only reason they're here is to love you. That's the whole reason for their existence, is to love you more than they love themselves.
From the Hurley Medical Center studios.
64 heading up to 85 degrees with that ever-present chance of showers and thunderstorms. Most of those after mid-afternoon today, probably after about 2 o'clock. Otherwise, it'll be mostly cloudy and gently, slowly becoming sunny and 85 today. Down to 69 tonight with more showers and thunder showers possible overnight, especially after 2 o'clock in the morning. And those will be in our morning commute tomorrow morning, too. And then it will turn mostly cloudy and eventually sunny and breezy tomorrow, too. So this unsettled weather stays with us. Low tonight, 69. High tomorrow, 82. Thursday and Friday look to be sunny and 78 and 82, respectively. We got the chance for showers over the weekend. Temperatures in the high 70s for the weekend.
What's going on in Jersey? Hey, U.S. Army, this is a guy we call 101st. He's been with us for a while, ever since he was an active duty serviceman in Fort Campbell, Kentucky, and he's moved around after retiring from the service. He is a technician of aircraft, fixed-wing aircraft in Florida. Good morning, 101st. Welcome. Good to see you again, as always. Cat Service Dog is his world. Those are great. Those service dogs are awesome. I've seen them in action so many times, and they are so good, so disciplined. It's crazy, and it takes a couple years to get them that way. Tell you what, Kevro's mom's dog, Took In, is definitely his world now. Loves the little guy. There's a guy who is so into dogs, he rescued one that didn't belong to him. He's in Jersey. This happened in Hoboken, the Hudson River. Video posted on Instagram shows this guy, who was later identified as Cole Franchi, jumping into the river in Hoboken to retrieve another person's dog from the water. Video shows the man follow the advice of the dog's owner and swim out past the dog in order to coax him back into shore. He knew that would work, and it did, to coax the dog back in. The dog wasn't drowning, but he couldn't figure out how to get out of the water until this other guy jumps in, swims past him, and then starts to coax him toward the shore. And it worked. This happened just after, a few days after a guy had been rescued from the river in Oyster Bay, New York, after jumping in to rescue a dog. And it almost went bad and tragic for him, but fortunately that all worked out well. So we do have those compassionate folks out there, and if you saw a dog, I don't know, you all can swim, I can't, but if you all can swim and you see a dog out in the water, would you jump in to save it? Would you jump in to save the dog? Chris is here from New Mexico with a postscript from his stepmom's birthday, and the reviews are good. And there are a bunch of good-hearted people here. By the way, those, and Tina pointed this out, somebody, we call those who are here on a regular basis the Hal Raisers, because my name is Hal, of course, and those who are here on a regular basis have been, for the longest time, called the Hal Raisers. So welcome to all the new ones. And again, please like us, share us, tell your friends about the fact that we're here, and we're here every Tuesday on TikTok and all those, as I ran down the whole thing, where we find you joining us other places throughout the rest of the week. You know what else goes on here on TikTok that involves dogs? Maybe you've seen it. If you're here on TikTok very much, you've probably seen this, because this is where it started. This is the coolest trend ever. I want to talk about it after Johnny and Steph. I want to tell you about the coolest trend ever on social media.
We got an early visit here this morning. We can talk to you now. What the hell? You probably want to go out and play golf. That's probably why he's here.
My voice is familiar. Where else did I work? Well, I tell you what, over 50 years, mostly Michigan, several different stations. Worked once in Indiana, once in Ohio, once in Portland, Maine.
You probably set the alarm wrong and...
Well, I woke up and it was 12 flashing, so I didn't know what time it was, so I figured I should go.
Did you guys get any wind out of your house yesterday?
Yeah, absolutely. It was interesting because we had a power blip at, I'd say, right before midnight, and then the power went out at 11:25 or something like that.
Is it still out there?
No, we got it back, thank goodness.
There's a lot of people. Yesterday, I was talking to one of my customers at Susky, who happens to live over there on Town Line. I think she lives or somewhere in that area. Yep. And she said, yeah, south of Curtis, everything was dark after the first storms came through at 3 o'clock or whatever time that was.
Yep.
So we got some cloudbursts, and they're telling us that potential is there with these storms that we could see today and tonight and tomorrow morning. But it doesn't look real bad. There's no warnings or anything. They're not saying there's no watches or warnings or anything. But the meteorologists over at MLive are saying, yeah, it looks like it could be potentially there. And I was watching the CBS guy this morning. They have changed radio or television weather guy thing to a whole different level now. These network guys have these they can surround themselves with storms and stuff while they're talking about it. It's amazing technology.
I love watching the Weather Channel where they have that. It's like the AI weather, where they're standing and you can see everything.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah,
floods.
Yeah,
it's wild.
You can have wind blowing and tornadoes around them, and they're doing the weather. And I think that is so cool looking.
Yeah, wearing a suit.
But they were showing that these storms, or the potential for the severe stuff, is heading into about midway, about the halfway point in Michigan, and depending on how close it comes to us or further away, that's what's going to affect whether or not we see.
We got hit, Kevro. It was very brief, but it was intense for about 10 minutes around here.
No, not much. much. Just
Down in Steph's area, there was a little bit of hail. I don't know if that's yesterday. She was talking about that yesterday from the day before, and we didn't get any rain up here at all the day before.
I think it's an interesting time because we, like I've said before, we have a lot of these individuals that have waited for the last year or two because they've been concerned about the interest rates, but now they have no choice other than to move because of changing family.
Okay, he's talking about his real estate thing. He's actually in a little bit early from that. Our fellow who used to be a street reporter that's talking right now. He's a real estate agent locally now. He used to be a street reporter for one of our local TV stations. We have 3 of them. Don't forget to tell what's happening in different states. You love doing outside things. There's one other state that I wanted to, because we've had people show up here this morning from Washington State. We've got a situation that's developing in Washington State if you enjoy playing the lottery. And, of course, now the multi-state games are back into the major jackpots again. Tonight, Mega Millions is going to be $421 million for the jackpot. Last night, because nobody got the Powerball, it's up to $100 million once again. So there's more and more interest in both of those games as the jackpot grows. But then there's other lottery games that are played at different, like state levels, lower prizes, but still an opportunity to become a little bit possessor of a better, healthier bank account. This is going on in Washington State, and it's happening thanks to one single store in Washington State. It's a grocery store in Washington that now has the claim to the title of the state's luckiest store. It has sold 3 big prize-winning lottery tickets. 3 in a single week. One grocery store. It's Yolk's Fresh Market on East Montgomery Avenue in Spokane Valley. Just sold a $4.6 million winning ticket for the April 17th lotto drawing. Earned a $46,000 bonus because it sold that ticket. Of course, anytime there's a major prize that is sold out of a store, that store gets a small piece of the action as well. A week after this happened, that same store hit a 5 ticket as a $165,000 prize for the winner and a $200,000 Powerball ticket, which was sold at a restaurant named ML. Restaurant to a resident, not restaurant, but resident named ML. Says he plans to share his winnings with his granddaughter. So 3 major lottery prizes, one out of the same grocery store in Washington, Spokane Valley. All right, they're going to get into how is that possible? It's like people who win over and over again. That happens. We have had stories of people who win $100,000 prizes 6 months after they already won one. Sometimes it just happens to people. I used to work with many years, probably 30 years ago, I worked at a company, it was a sports reporting company, whose receptionist won $5,000 twice, 2 different occasions, won $5,000 in state lottery games here in Michigan. So it does happen. Never to me. In fact, the only time, and anybody who's here repeatedly, because they listen to us all the time, knows just recently, and I play the big games when the Mega Millions and the jackpot for Powerball also really get up there. I might buy a ticket or 2. But generally I don't play the lottery because it's gambling, which I'm not good at. I've never been a good gambler. I've never been a fortunate gambler. Anyway. But about a month, maybe a month and a half ago now, and when I do play, I play the same numbers all the time. I don't leave it to chance. I pick my own numbers. And one weekend, several weeks ago, the Powerball hit 3 of my numbers, which would have won me $7 because I would have been putting 6 in to buy the ticket, so I would have gained $1, which, again, to people who think, $1, what the hell is that? But it's still a gain. If you win anything, that's the thing. That's the deal. Tina won 15 on Mother's Day. Look at that. Tina won $15 on Mother's Day. Look at that. Beautiful. That's awesome. Congratulations. Don't spend it all in one place, as they say. Right?
Facing a brain tumor diagnosis
But again, I want to get done with this traffic report, which is coming up after the commercials that we're playing. I will ask you about and find out your take on the coolest social media trend I've ever seen. And it's right here on TikTok. And if you're here on TikTok often, you've probably seen it. But I want to find out your take on it. And if you've even tried it. If you haven't, I hope you will. It's still the coolest thing ever.
Hi, this is Lisa from Scooter's Bar and Grill, located
But
at
first, we have
112
commercials to do.
Something happening 7 days a week.
Did you know that Scooter's Bar and Grill opens up at
Cloudy
7
morning
a.m.
to start with.
Monday
It's
through
64 on the way to
Friday.
about 85 today.
Free pool all
We've
day
had
long on Mondays. The best
a couple of
things
days in a
special
row of
now.
mid-80s temperatures, and this will be a third one.
Two toppings,
As I said,
two tall domestic
anything
breasts,
over 80
22
degrees is kind of
buns.
pushing it for me. I'm not a big heat guy. Johnny loves it. The hotter the better for Johnny, our host, Johnny Burke. But Steph and I are both in that cooler the better thing. I mean, 65 to 75, perfect. Anything over 80 is kind of pushing it a little bit. 90 is out of the question. Terribly uncomfortable. Don't like sweating. Don't like the fact that you can only remove a certain amount of clothing without getting arrested. Colder, you can put on as many layers of clothing as you need to be comfortable.
Specialize in representing men. Call Adam at 810-244-ADAM. 810-244-2326.
So mild in Fort Collins, Colorado is where you are. Mild. What's mild for your cats?
Your belt tire pit crew wants you back on the road quickly and safely. And we're making
For some people, like we have people from Alabama that are joining our live stream from time to time, anything over 60 degrees is like, that's like iceberg weather to them.
Tires and surfaces on your next visit. $260 off today. $200 for tomorrow. That's $460. And the lowest tire price, period. Only at Bell Tire. See belltire.com. Consumer debt is at an all-time high. Icon Mortgage is giving people their freedom back when they refinance to pay off that debt. Now, more than 20 years of being Michigan's best. 810-953.
Welcome to all of you who are new, and that would be probably 95% of you. Glad to see that you stopped here because TikTok pushed you here off of your For You page. Here we go with traffic.
Vehicle City traffic.
I'm going to call your attention to two problem points right now. One of them is in the city of Flint. Crashed just into us a minute ago from Hamilton Avenue at Saginaw Street. So be careful if you're in the Hamilton Avenue, Saginaw Street area. Also, a serious crash, slow go spot on northbound 75 at Dort Highway in Grand Blanc Township. Those are your issues to pay attention to at the moment. But if you spot a crash or an unusual delay elsewhere, we hope you'll let us know at 810-230-WRSR. That is 810-230-9777. And get your Vehicle City traffic information all the time, anytime from ClassicFox.com/traffic. Be a traffic tipster right here on 103.9 The Fox.
The Foxhole Morning Show on 103.9 The Fox. Steph's Fox Flashback.
She was a bank teller and a singing waitress before she was a star, and she's a huge Led Zeppelin fan. She quite often closes her show with the reggae version of Stairway to Heaven. Not quite sure what that would sound like.
I would love to hear that.
I'm gonna do a deep dive and see if I can find that.
All right.
Let's get into it. From her 1982 album Get Nervous, it's Pat Benatar with Shadows of the Night.
Love that song. It's my favorite Pat Benatar song. Stairway to Heaven's my all-time favorite rock song, period. And I can't see a reggae version of it. Anyway. No need for AC, no humidity. That's why no roaches. Well, I tell you, one of the things about Michigan, when it's warm in the summertime, it's usually also pretty humid. Maybe not Florida humid, but it's humid. And that's the thing that makes it difficult for some of us. That humidity thing. If it were just heat, dry heat, that'd be cool. I've been in New Mexico and experienced what that can be like. The heat that Arizona has, New Mexico has. It can sneak up on you if you're not careful, I know. I've seen that happen, but at least it's sort of comfortable, particularly if you're in the shade. 92 can feel like 70 in the shade over there, but over here, you can't get away from the humidity. Can't see what you're writing. Try better to write. Now you're doing fine. You hated the South. It was nasty in the South, huh? In the state of 10,000 lakes, that's where Jen is. A lot of humidity there. Here's the thing going on with TikTok that maybe you've seen, and if you haven't, boy, I hope you will look for it. It's called Hands In. It's a new trend. TikTok has been horrible for these trends, these challenges, primarily started by kids who are type A personalities who haven't got a brain in their head. Let's see how dangerous and potentially lethal we can turn these challenges to see how many people will do them. And that's what's happened. And TikTok for a while got a bad rap because of that. There's a lot of other stuff on TikTok which has made it sort of valuable, particularly for marketing small businesses. It's been really good. That's why this controversy over whether it's going away or not is such a big deal, because there's so many people depending on TikTok right now for their livelihoods. But one thing that happens a lot is these challenges that make people defy danger, and I hate that. But this is cool. It's called Hands In. If you've never seen it before, and you have a dog, try this. You sit down. If you want to put this on camera, that's cool so that people can see how it goes in your home, but you don't have to do it, just to test your dog out. You sit down, you and your partner sit down, your dog is in the middle. You put your hand out. Hand out, palm down. Your partner puts a hand on top of yours. And if you want to take it the next layer, you can take your other hand, put that on top so that the partner puts another hand on top. Let's see how long it takes for the dog to figure out that the dog is supposed to put his paw on top of that to signify family unity. Hand down, another hand down. The dog's got to figure out to put his paw on top of yours. And then you praise the hell out of the dog when it does that, because that gets the message across that you're part of the family and definitely are solid and you know it, kind of thing. I don't know how Jacko would work with this, but I've seen in the last 3 days, I have seen dozens of dogs tested to see if it would work for them. And only 4 times has the dog not figured out what to do. And I even saw one occasion yesterday where a cat was tested and the cat figured it out. The cat was smart enough that you wondered if the cat was going to, because the cat's usually its own individual and it doesn't care. Just give it something to eat, it's cool. But no, this cat figured it out.
Shadows of the night. I got the nicest email from Pam, and
Rocco just licks your hand, Tina. Well, you got to have a partner to do it, so there's more than one person doing this.
Your Fox Flashback show. There you go, Pam.
There's a good one, too.
Yeah, it is. I love Pat Benatar. So now with the trivia question, the phone number that you'll need is 810-230-9777, and you are playing for some great grub from Jesters. We've got 2 tickets to see Night Ranger on May 26th, part of the Coleman's Veterans Memorial in Coleman, Michigan. And then we've got a 4-pack of tickets to see the Flint City Bucks on Saturday, May 25th. The first correct caller will have your chance at any of those. So here is the question. Her creative and romantic partner is her guitarist. What's his name?
No, Andrew, you're not allowed to answer.
No, you can't.
I'd have no idea anyways.
Really?
No.
He's too young.
Yeah. I love
Oh,
Pat
he
Benatar.
probably
Yeah,
is.
too young.
Yeah, but did you go to high school when everybody wanted to look like Pat Benatar? That was my senior class.
That was not my senior
Okay, so you
class.
are younger. Good morning, the Fox. What do you think?
They don't.
No, they don't know?
Apparently they don't. Yeah, let's try this one.
All right, good morning, the Fox. Do you have an answer?
Yes, I do.
What is it?
Giraldo.
Say it again.
Neil Giraldo.
Yes, you are absolutely correct. Did you know that he played in Rick Derringer's band before he joined Pat Benatar?
I did not.
No.
Is that how they met?
I know. Well, there was I think it was a manager or a producer in common.
Right.
And he knew that Pat Benatar was looking for someone like that.
Aye.
So he got the gig, and then he got the girl because they were married in Maui in 1982.
Wow.
They've been creative partners that long, and they're still together. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Who are we talking to
It is.
this morning?
This is Mark Callahan from White Lake.
Perfect. What are you doing down in White Lake?
Well, I live there. Actually, I'm in Grand Lake right now.
Fair enough. I guess I asked for that, didn't I,
Yeah.
Mark?
Sure.
All right, did you hear your
Okay.
choices of prizes here this morning?
Yep, I'll take the Jester's gift certificate.
All right, that is yours, Mark. You hang on the line. We'll get some info off the air. But tell us, please, who just took you up with Steph's Fox Flashback?
The best classic rock in the land, 103.9 The Fox.
Perfect.
That's right. And by the way, we have a mobile app that you can download. Free mobile app that you can download so that you can get 103.9 The Fox playing on your mobile device all day long, 24/7. classic rock music all day, all night. Don't have to wait for us to come on here with our... By the way, you can also... Not only are we here on my live stream here on TikTok, but anytime you want to log in to see the Facebook live feed, which is coming direct from the studio with Johnny and Steph and their guests at any time, they usually stream from 6 in the morning Eastern time to about 10 is when the show ends. And you can see what's going on from a studio perspective on their Facebook page. Just log on to classicfox.com and you're able to get into, or their Facebook page. You can get into 103.9 The Fox Facebook page, and you are able then to see what's going on, as Tina does, on a routine basis. She's like their number one fan right now, to see Johnny and Steph in the studio. And then you can hear, when the mic's off, the kind of evil things they talk about, and how they swear like sailors, and how they trash people, and all those good little things that happen when the mic is off. Like the show, get the app. That's how you do it, Kat. Oh, by the way, and I want to tell you, too, we are 103.9 The Fox, but that's not the only one out there. There's one in Chicago that has a different logo. So I want to show you what our logo looks like, and this is what you look for when you go looking for 103.9 The Fox. You go to the App Store, you type in 103.9 The Fox, and it might show you two different logos. This is the one you want right here, as soon as I can call it up for you. That's it, right there. Look for that logo, okay? That's the one you want. Because the one that's with the other station is a red and black logo. So look for that one. The one that you saw just now, the blue and yellow one. Okay? And then you'll be able to be clued into what's going on all the time with our... By the way, I keep throwing these by the ways at you because I keep thinking of stuff I don't want to forget to tell you about. But there's a local magazine called My City Magazine. It covers the Flint and surrounding areas. And this is the third or fourth year in a row, something like that, that our station, 103.9 The Fox, was voted by listeners and readers of that magazine as the top radio station in our area. Our show, the Foxhole Morning Show, which is Johnny and Steph, and then I'll contribute here and there, was voted the number one morning show in the area. And our afternoon host, Jeremy Finnick, was voted the number one radio personality, period, in the area. Saw him yesterday, congratulated him on his honor. He was humbled greatly by the fact that he got it. First time he's ever won that. He's a whiz-bang ball of energy. 5 cups of, he has what, 5 creams, 5 sugars in his coffee. That kind of helps that along. So what's happening now is we're working our way toward our first break in our schedule. Because next Monday, being Memorial Day here in the United States, means that the show will be taking a day off, as it normally only does on holidays. And this live stream, which is normally on Facebook on Mondays, will not be on Monday. So we're going to have a 3-day weekend, and we'll be back here again next Tuesday here on TikTok in the meantime. And while that's going on, a lot of people are planning to take vacations or at least long weekends. And AAA just announced recently that they expect there are going to be something like 38.4 million people on the road. This is one of the heaviest expected travel weekends that we've had since before COVID, which kind of curtailed things for a while. And Johnny openly wondered, how do they know that? How does AAA know that there are going to be 38.4 million people on the road?
103.9 The Fox. Hello out there.
Hello?
Who is this?
Brandon.
Brandon.
What comes after 8?
9.
9? Yeah. You are calling number 9. You made it through, my friend. Congratulations, you are now signed up for the Fox Freezer full of meat. That's steak, brats, bacon, ground beef, chicken, pork, fish, seafood. We got you covered for the whole summer. Over $1,400 worth of meats and going up every day according to the inflation figures that I've been seeing. So it's all from Donlands Fish and Seafood, Johnson Farms, J.D. Sausage and Jerky Company, Brower Farms, and you can pack it all in a new freezer from Appliances for Less on Corona Road when you win this thing. What'd you say your name was again?
Brandon Hornbeck.
Where are you calling from, Brandon?
Bergen.
Well, congratulations. You are signed up now, and we will see you at the big prize drawing. We'll explain all that to you off the air. But You are now registered to win $1,400 worth of meat from 103.9 The Fox. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hold the line. We'll be with you in a moment. Or 12. It might be. Could be a while. We've got Andrew Keller, home seller, here. We like to talk to him every once in a while.
Okay.
And like I said,
While they're talking real estate, and I can hear a lawnmower in the background, hopefully that will be over before we are done with their conversation, because it's going to be news time here in about 5 minutes, and hopefully we won't have to do that with a lawnmower in the background because the microphone will pick that up. Katz is a vegan. It's a good thing he didn't win this contest. That's true. $1,400 worth of meat, which that's nowadays. You guys see the price of meat, right? That's a big deal. Freezer full of tofu for you. Oh, good. Okay, that's awesome. I never had tofu. I don't know what that is. The question begs, and Johnny asked it, how the hell do they know that 38 million people are going to be on the road? How do they predict that? How do they figure that out? Because right now, the only thing that we ever know about people who work for AAA are the people who sell us insurance, because they have all kinds of insurance that they can sell you, or the people who take your money to pay for those insurance premiums. That's the only people that we know from AAA. What do people at AAA do? I mean, what do they do other than sell you insurance and then take the money that you pay for the premiums for the insurance? What do they do? What is the day in the life of a AAA employee like? What do they do? I don't know. Tina saying cameras. Oh, you're talking about the being able to spot the traffic on the roads as far as cameras are going. That might be, there's a lot of cameras around for sure. That might make a difference if you can figure out based on that what's going on. Tow cars. Yeah. No. But I mean, if the people who work for AAA, what do they do? What is a day like in the day of a AAA employee who's not involved in selling you insurance or taking your money for said insurance? I mean, I know what I do, and a lot of people don't realize what I do, and it's way different than what you think I'm doing during this chat. Way different. It's a whole different world when the microphone and the camera for this goes off, or then goes back on again tomorrow from X Twitter, like it will. Between now and then, it'll be all different stuff. I try to clear the deck of work before and after our live stream so that we have the opportunity to spend most of our time just chatting with you guys for this hour or so. And on Fridays, when we're here on Fridays, it's even longer. We go for about an hour and a half, from 7 until around 8:30, quarter to 9, because we have a thing on Fridays for those who are not familiar with it. It's called the Friday Morning Primal Scream. Tina is a veteran of that, loves to scream with us every Friday morning. It's a method that Johnny's been using for about 40 years on the radio to rid oneself of all the negative energy just ahead of the upcoming weekend. And this Friday, ahead of a long holiday weekend, you've got extra energy to kind of release before you're ready to go into the new weekend. I'll probably read and garden and do extreme sports. That's what Katz thinks I do. Read and garden and do extreme sports. Yeah, I do all of that. Kevro screams from the shower. Yeah. And by the way, Kevro's throwing gifts our way. A lot of gifts. Thank you, Kevro, for being so generous today. Appreciate that. I think they're getting ready to do news here, so I better be ready.
all right, yeah, we've still got our guy on hold. We got to get his information, so let's get on over to Hal.
It is time. 5 things you should know from 103.9 The Fox, brought to you by Thick Landscape Supplies. As we spring into the new season, it's time to get that driveway in shape with tons of driveway material, plus the finest topsoil, compost, and humus. Thick Landscape Supplies, 2 locations to serve you. Find out more at thicklandscapesupplies.com. Like us on Facebook. Now let's get thick and busy. Well, the prosecution rested its case yesterday in the hush money trial involving former President Trump. At one point, the judge cleared the courtroom of reporters and then threatened to remove a defense witness former federal prosecutor Robert Costello from the trial altogether because of his behavior on the stand. That exchange coming toward the end of a heated day that included the prosecution's star witness Michael Cohen admitting to stealing tens of thousands of dollars from Trump's company. Charges being filed, 11 counts against 35-year-old Ashley Monroe, the Gratiot County woman accused of driving her car into a large group of people Saturday evening in Clinton County, killing 2 and injuring 14 others. Victims ranging in age from 2 to 61. Bizarre overnight development in Saginaw County on Sunday, as according to MLive, a man was struck and killed by a passing vehicle while walking along the on-ramp of southbound I-675 near Tittabawassee Road in Saginaw Township. He had just gone live on Facebook moments beforehand and was live streaming the incident. He's identified as 28-year-old Devontae Anderson of Saginaw. Red Lobster officially filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection yesterday. Its ownership seeking to sell the company in the wake of last week's announcement that over 50 of its restaurants nationwide would be forced to close. Only one of those is in Michigan, though. That's specifically in St. Clair County. Tigers lost to the Kansas City Royals 8-3 last night. The Loons are up early today to host the Beloit Snappers. Baseball action at Dow Diamond in Midland. First pitch this morning, 11:05. And to cap this one off, nobody won Powerball last night, so tomorrow's jackpot goes up to $100 million. Tonight, your Mega Millions jackpot is $421 million. And that's 5 things you should know from 103.9 The Fox. Starting off with a cloudy day that eventually turns sunny this afternoon. The chance of showers and thunderstorms happening late in the day will develop and carry on into the nighttime hours. We're expected to top out around 85 today and then slide down to about 69 overnight with that rain possibility. Tomorrow starting off with a chance that we'll see more rain showers during the morning commute, and then again the sunshine will gradually take over. 82 the forecast high. Thursday, plenty of sun and a little cooler, 78. Right now it's 64 in Flint, and in Saginaw 63.
Rock Authority.
103.9. The Fox. Yeah, we got our freezer full of meat winner there just moments ago. Now, don't forget, you've got 2 other opportunities to get signed up for that today. Today was Steve Driver in the midday, and this afternoon on your way home from work with Jeremy Fennick on the Fox. Be listening for your chance to sign up and win $1,400 worth of meat from 103.9 The Fox.
Cloudy day, and on the 21st of May, one more chance to check out the smile source that we have for you from our 365 Dogs calendar and let you see the face of Lucy, who is a pit bull terrier rescued from a Livingston, Montana shelter who now resides in Savannah, Georgia. Meet Lucy. Every dog has his day. Today is Lucy's day for you. Your smile source to get you started with your Tuesday right there. By the way, Lucy is a ball player. There you go. There you go. Aww. All right, thank you very much for your attention, your attendance, and hanging out here on a Monday or Tuesday morning. And once again, just as every single time we get to this point, this is a brand new little feature TikTok has. They throw this little thing out to me to let me know that they're going to shut me off here because we've been going for an hour. And if I move this little piece of puzzle over into this picture, like I'm doing right now, that lets me continue. They have verified that I'm here. That's weird. Why they started doing that? They give you a time limit, and if you want to keep on going, you have to answer that little puzzle before you can continue. So since we're just doing another minute or so, what the hell? Anyway, thank you for your attention and your attendance and hanging out on this Tuesday morning. Tomorrow, Brother Hal's traveling live streaming show goes over to X Twitter. Thursday, we're on Instagram. Friday, it's going to be on our simul stream, Twitch, and on Facebook. And then next Monday, a day off until we're back here again on TikTok 1 week from today. So until then, have yourself a pleasant, peaceful, productive day. And plan on joining us back here again in the Hal Hole with your friends, the Hal Raisers. A lot of new friends, the Hal Raisers, today, because here on TikTok, we always tend to bring in a lot of people that never saw us before. And hopefully, now that you have, you're going to stick with us for a long time to come, because we're here pretty much every day for you. And we're glad of that. And we're glad that you joined us. So again, have yourself a great day. We'll catch you again, okay? Okay.